What's up, everybody? Welcome to Snail Mail. Snail Mail. Here's the mail. It never fails.
I don't know. The
When
bluey
when
thing
it comes,
or whatever.
It makes me want to whale mail.
I wish we could use that as our intro.
Yeah, I
When
don't
you
know if
brought that up, I actually took it for that one episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I found it. I've downloaded it, but I would think we would get in trouble if we used it.
Yeah, I don't know, right? Is that I mean, I guess it's copyrighted.
It's got to be.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. All right.
It was like one time we could probably slide it under the radar, but if we ran it every single week, we'd probably get in trouble.
Nickelodeon would reach out
Yeah,
with
we'll get a cease
$1
and
million
desist.
lawsuit or something.
All the money you made off of those episodes, you owe us. Like, sweet.
Sweet.
Here's $5. So does that mean every year we give you $5? We keep using it?
Yeah, I'd be down for that. $5 for a year usage.
Yeah. It's cheaper than I pay for all the music otherwise.
Right.
I think that's like $16.
Oh, man. Anyways, so welcome to Snail Mail, everybody. We are on this newish Friday segment where we get to listen about you guys and listen to you guys, listen from you guys, all the review that you guys have and feedback for us. We love hearing about it. So we have a voicemail set up with Google Voice. The number is 916-345-4744. And then you can leave a voicemail of your choice, whatever it is. We don't care. We just like listening to it and interacting with you guys.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So I had a listener reach out and asked if we could play his voicemail this week.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because it actually has time-sensitive information in it. And he said something he didn't tell me what it was, but he said something to the fact that he said, you guys asked for this. So you guys said he said something like, you guys said I could do this.
Okay.
In one of the episodes. I think because it was like, you do shout outs, do whatever. So I'm kind of curious what it is. Do you have it pulled up?
I don't have, I have the voicemails pulled up, but I don't have
his number.
Yeah.
Is the number saved?
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't think I have it.
It's would it be a 530 number?
No, I doubt it. He lives over by Pool Noodle. All right. You found it?
I found the one from Wreck-It Rob.
Wreck-It Rob.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. I'm kind of curious what he says here. So, I'm excited to hear this.
You think he's advertising his business?
He could. We'll find out. I don't know. I think people have signed up for our Snail Squad tier just to do that.
That's true. I wonder if I could call in and advertise more flight.
He probably, absolutely. You're like, wow, I don't have this phone number.
Who's this number? Oh, that's a weird one. Let's see what it is. All right, Rob, what do you got to say? I'm curious what's so important here. So let's see what he's got.
Hey guys, Wreck-It Rob here. I just wanted to say something about building your rig. I do something kind of weird where I have my own built rig or semi-built rig, and then buy something to trade, and I continue to try to trade up to try to one up the last rig that I had. That might be something he might want to be interested in. It tends to save me a little bit of money, and when I decide it's time to go, it makes me a little bit of money on the ending side. Also, I would like to ask everyone to go to High Desert Top Truck on Facebook, and please check out this event if you don't know anything about it. Give it a like. See if it's something you want to go visit. It's in October. And hook me up with a vote, please. Also, one final thing. I have a spare Rockwell for my Blazer that's a steering axle. Wondering what you guys think about rear steer. And thinking about linking one axle before the event. And what's your preference on, should I link the front first or link the rear first? Thanks a lot, guys. Keep growing.
Okay, hopefully you guys got all that. It was a little quiet. We'll try and do some post-editing to make it a little louder so you guys can hear it. But do you get all that, Jimmy?
I think so. It took me a second to figure out the voting place he wanted to go.
Gotcha.
But before we go to the voting thing, let's kind of go in order here.
Yeah, you kind of had 3 points, right?
Yeah, 3 points.
So the first one was when he sells a vehicle, builds vehicles and sells them. He likes to do a trade up. He likes to trade vehicles.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a game for him to get a little bit better value than what he's selling, kind of thing. And I'm like, it's kind of an interesting game. There was a show on TV where some guys that would build vehicles and they would always do that trade up idea,
Sure.
right?
Makes sense. And it seems like, for our listener out there in Montana, he could put a little bit into this Tacoma, fix it up, and then sell it and try to get or trade it to try and get a more built vehicle in the direction that he wants. So maybe he can leave it IFS, put a little bigger tires on it, put a locker in it, build maybe some bumpers, and then be like, okay, winter season's coming. I want a better winter vehicle.
Yeah.
Sell it and trade up. So.
Yeah. I wonder if you could kind of build it more as an overlander.
Yeah.
First gen Tacoma overlander, and then find somebody selling a crawler that's looking to get into overlanding.
Yeah.
You have an overlander looking to get into crawling. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's an interesting idea. Something I haven't really thought about. I get too attached to my damn vehicles. So I don't have that trade up mentality, but yeah, I mean, if you don't have that emotional attachment or anything, then it's definitely an interesting idea and way to think about it. Yeah.
So that was the first point. Second point was, it sounds like he's competing in the high desert top truck challenge.
Yeah, that's interesting. I really haven't heard much about this.
I haven't either. I imagine it's from what we looked at. I looked it up here and you've looked at it too. It looks like another top truck challenge, right?
Yes.
Where you're having to do a series of obstacles in a timed manner.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah. And so it looks like they're doing a voting game over there on it's a Facebook page is how we found it. So if you go to High Desert Top Truck, the page will come up. And then we just had to scroll down a little bit and starts off with 'tis the voting season. And then he asked you guys to vote for him. Yeah. Which I think, hey, if you're using the platform, how you can use it and get away with it, you should do it. Yeah. So his rig is, I don't even know what it is. Suburban, K5 Blazer, Chevy. Some sort? I don't know. But it's an American flag. So if you scroll down in all the photos, there's a truck that's more or less an American flag. The front fender is stars, the body is the stripes. His name's Rob Bouchard. And go give him a like so he can get more votes. Maybe I'll try to remember and put a link in there for everybody down in the description. But man, there's some awesome rigs in this thing. There are some. I'm just scrolling through them. Man. Like, dang. That's got to be a wild. Oh, Dalton Hamilton's in there. Yeah. Where do we know Dalton from? I forget. He's friends with Ori. Okay. And he's a 4400 racer, 4600 racer. Okay. He races Ultra 4. Okay. Too. Gotcha. Yeah. And so, there's a lot of fun photos and a lot of really cool rigs in there. So go give him a vote. Go help him out or go vote for somebody else. One or the other. But that's pretty cool. Check it out. So High Desert Top Truck. Yep. Yeah, that was you. So cool stuff there. And then the third, what was his third? His third thing was rear steer with Rockwell's. Rear steer Rockwell, and then linking it, whether he should link the front or the rear. Yes. If I was going to do a trail vehicle, I think either way, trail or a top truck competition vehicle, I think I'd link the front first. See, I disagree. Okay. And mine, I don't know. I don't know if I fully disagree. Okay. But my 2 cents is that you already have a lot of weight in the front. And so your leaf springs flex fairly well when there's a lot of weight being transferred, where like Bobcat is a truck, doesn't have a lot of weight in the rear, and my rear doesn't flex as well as my front does. So for me, it would be beneficial to link my rear before my front. For trail or competition? Well, I don't. Or top truck competition specifically? Well, it depends on, I think in this way, it kind of depends on, I mean, I would 4-link the rear over doing a 3-link on the front. I mean, I would 4-link the rear instead of doing a 3-link on the rear. Okay. Right? Because I think in a top truck application, you need as much control over that axle as you can get. I don't know how Wreck-It Rob's build is done, if he has, his gas tanks moved or any of that, or what's underneath the rig. But if you can, I would 4-link it in the rear. I'm not sure how the front is done, but I'm assuming you still have mechanical linkage. If you do, then you probably are stuck to 3-link. It's really hard or difficult to 4-link and have steering mechanical linkage in there. It gets kind of wonky, but it probably can be done. But it's easier to 3-link. I think it really comes down to where, what benefits would you get from doing what link and where? Yeah. Right. Like if you are concerned about flex and or articulation, then it's which one would give you the better flex or articulation, the front or the rear. If it's over like handling and movement of the axle, I would say then it really comes down to like, is a 3-link a beneficial for you because it might be unpredictable, like going over jumps or whoops, where a 4-link in the rear is much more predictable. So I think there's some pros and cons that you need to weigh out for that.
I personally, if he was just going to keep it a trail rig, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I think that's a fair argument. I think for top truck challenges, you have to link the front. You should not do a top truck challenge on leaf springs in the front.
No.
Have you seen how fast they slam the front ends into concrete pipelines and trees?
Yes.
So I just think in pure strength, the center pins on leaf springs are going to shear off a lot more. You're going to have a lot more issues with those in a top truck challenge.
Quite possibly. You can also get better approach angle if you link the front.
That too. I just feel like people who design top truck challenge tracks are designing them to try and get people to break.
Sure.
Like that's what the crowd wants to see. They want to see somebody destroy their rig, which is why I will never do a top truck challenge. With how much force goes into that front end hitting the obstacles that are typically in top truck challenge obstacles, I would 100% link the front over the rear.
Okay.
But
yeah. Well, take both of those and do what you need to do there, Rob.
There you go.
So and steering rear, I do it.
Yeah,
I don't.
I agree.
That'll be badass. Rockwell steering for sure. I think it sounds like this rig's pretty damn tall already. Yeah, Rockwells and everything. So that's rad. That I'm excited to hear more about it. And feel free, go have a vote. And thanks for using the random platform as it should be used.
Yeah.
No hate
self-advertising.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, next one up is from Lance, not the company.
Cool.
He spotted me on Highway 80 the other day, I guess.
Well, what were you driving?
The 4Runner.
Well, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What, did he just message you and say, hey, we passed each other or whatever?
Yep, saw you on 80. And I was like, were you the trucker that almost killed me just now? He goes, no, I was going the other direction. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, Lance, let's see what he's got to say.
That's what I would say after you responded that way too.
Yeah. No,
I was going the other way.
Yeah. All right, what does Lance got to say?
Thanks, I learned, Jimmy. It's Lance, not the company. Hey, I was having a conversation with Rubicon and came to the conclusion that because the podcast was so late yesterday, and Snail Mail still hasn't gotten here. It's 50 hours right now on Friday, August 2nd, and no Snail Mail. And, he brought that up, and it's a good point. And I think that I'm going to have to jump in his rover with him, and we're going to come looking for you guys. Because, the only thing we can come up with for a reason why there was no Snail Mail, barring the fact that Jimmy's in Ireland, which is a lame excuse, really. I mean, he could do it with an Irish accent. So the only other thing you can think of is maybe the Snail Mail episode got lost somewhere on the trail. So I'm going to jump in the rover with Dawn. I'm going to go look for you guys. Hope all is well.
I will say if the Snail Mail episode got lost in the trail, at least it made it to the trail. I don't even know if you'd make it to the trail in a rover. Just
that's
FYI.
True. Yeah.
That's yeah, good luck. I mean, you come looking for us, but I don't even know if that rover make it out of Dawn's driveway at the moment. So,
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. I don't have any excuses for while I was over in Ireland, but we did have some issues in the back end of the website for the previous week. So we do apologize for the tardiness.
I don't apologize
for the Thursday episode, and Snail Mail came out ever so slightly late because there was another small hiccup. But from now on, they should be fairly timely.
In theory.
Yeah, in theory.
All right, Lee Lim, Re-Rim called in next about episode 523.
Okay.
What's up, boys? It's Lee. Self-function. Episode 523. I got an idea for you. Well, I got two for you, Tyler, on the overheating. One, run an oil cooler and put it somewhere not near your radiator. Just hose it down somewhere behind or underneath your rig, little fan, cools everything off. Or two, get a zero breeze, which is like this AC unit that people run in their rooftop tents. Duck that up in the back somewhere, and you can use that for AC. Instead of having a condenser and all that stuff, you can rip all that stuff out of your rig, still have AC, and not worry about heating up your engine. So, hopefully that helps. New rig looks awesome. Jimmy, where you been? I don't know. Hope you're having fun. Oh, and rovers create negative air pressure. Oh, no. They suck. Okay, bye.
At first, I was like, didn't he already call in and tell us this?
That's what I thought too. And I started reading through it ahead, and I was like, no, we definitely didn't talk about AC, rooftop tent ACs before.
The zero breeze. Yeah. That's not a bad idea.
So you
could do 2W60 also.
That's true. I thought that he was 2W60. That's funny. I thought that he was going to say something about getting a zero breeze and piping it into my engine bay so that radiated engine stays cooler.
No, then you don't need to, if you have the zero breeze going in the cab, then you don't need to run the AC in the engine and it won't overload.
Yeah. So I would just need to get an inverter then to run or are those 12 volt units? I've never looked into. I was looking into a zero breeze at some point, but they're
a 12 volt unit.
Yeah,
but all you need is a wagon tech, and then you could run it either way.
Yeah,
and you could charge the wagon tech as you're driving off your 12 volt, so it wouldn't really go down.
Probably be a better AC than my AC currently. Too,
probably.
So
I know that Jake from Wander Taco is selling his right now too.
Really?
Yeah.
BRB.
You're gonna go check it. He was showing it off on his Instagram, so you can message him.
I'll message him.
Yeah, it's a good idea, Lee.
Yeah, how big are those units?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Small suitcase-ish.
Small suitcase. Wonder how I would be able to package it into the Forerunner.
Two lengthwise air hub boxes.
That's not bad. Okay. I'll have to think about that. It's not a terrible idea.
Not a terrible one. No.
Yeah.
And then you could even move it into the Gazelle when you're done for the day.
What I would do is I would just carry extra hosing. So I can just pipe it out of the Forerunner into the Gazelle.
Yeah, that would work. Whenever you're sitting by the campfire, you just have the hose on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, this fire's hot. And you're like, it's so cold.
That's good. All right. Clint Cunliffe. Our buddy from Backdoor.
Our backdoor buddy.
Backdoor buddy. Clint, what are you calling in about?
Hey, gents, it's Clint. And first of all, I wanted to thank Tyler for the assist while we were on the Rubicon recently. I was an idiot and walked up Soup Bowl, turned around, was trying to show off to my friends, and was going up Soup Kitchen. Motor died as I was kind of on the crux there. Ended up flopping it on its side, not a big deal. But then I tried to start the motor before we pulled the plug, seized the engine. So that wasn't super fun. Then we made it to the top of Indian Trail, and my buddy blew all the ears off of his steering box on his JK. And Tyler, we got a hold of him through a Starlink, and he coordinated helping us get a steering box on the Rubicon. So that was awesome. Thank you so much, Tyler. But the main reason I'm calling is because I'm listening to the Blue Ribbon podcast right now, and I am an active supporter of Blue Ribbon. Try to support them with my money, and also whenever there's an action item, I always do that. But I had the exact same. I continually have the exact same scenario as Tyler described, and that is I'll send these messages through Blue Ribbon to my legislators, and every single time it comes back with them saying, "Oh yeah, we support this 30 for 30. We support conserving," and basically what they're saying is closing the land, and they're not even reading what our point is. So it's super frustrating, and I'd be curious if you guys have a better way. I know probably if I took the time to call our legislators, that might be a better way, but Blue Ribbon makes it so easy to respond to these, and I try to always follow through with those. But anyway, frustrating, but definitely appreciate the podcast with always supporting Blue Ribbon. I know both of you through your businesses support Trail Conservancy and land use, and it's much appreciated. And keep it going. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Clint.
Thanks for calling in, bud. Yeah, that was fun. I got a random text message from him saying, "Hey, I'm on the Rubicon. I need a JK steering box. What are your ideas?" And I was like, "How are you talking to me, right? What do you text?
Yeah.
Do you have a Starlink?" He goes,
Yep.
He goes, "Yes, I do. I need a JK steering box. How do I get one?" I was like, "What kind of Starlink do you got?" Yeah, I don't know. It's a Starlink. It's a Buddies. I need a JK steering box. I was like, "Well, what is Gen 2, Gen 3? What are your speeds like? How do you have it set up? Did you 12 volt flat mount? What'd you do?" And he's like, "Shut up. I need a JK steering box." I was like, "Okay, fine. Let's find you a JK steering box." But yeah, the Rubicon Trail Foundation has a couple of different parts cabinets on the Rubicon Trail of common parts that break on the Rubicon. And I think their highest inventory item is JK steering boxes, just FYI.
Really?
So they break all the time because the JKs do not have a good sector shaft brace on there.
Got it.
And so all the force in the front ends of JKs, they just rip track bar brackets and steering boxes.
Yes.
All day long on the Rubicon. It's like Dana 35s on the Rubicon, right?
Yes.
If you have a JK on the Rubicon, you're going to shear your steering box off or shear your sector shaft or shear track bar brackets.
Okay.
It's just going to happen. It's inevitable. And so anyways, they keep a nice stock of JK steering boxes. Was able to get a hold of John Arns and Glenn was able to go get one of the boxes and bring it to them on the trail, on his way through the trail up to his office on that Friday. So
that's pretty cool.
That was fun to coordinate. And I'm glad that all worked out really well. And then, yeah, that's just what he described about Blue Ribbon and talking to your legislator. You're just like, God, you guys are not reading what we're sending in. And
no,
but the importance here's the thing, even though I personally feel like the legislators are not reading comments that people send in. And I don't know how to really get that point across to legislators other than start lobbying and create a lobbying firm for the off-road industry that writes a check to a legislator for $20,000 in order to get 10 minutes of their time to sit down and talk to them. Right. Other than that, I'm not sure that's how to get through to legislators, the importance of this stuff. The important part of why you write into your legislators and why you write into public comment periods is that there is a record kept of everybody that does write into a legislator, everybody that does write into public comment periods. And a lot of times, because as we're seeing with the Chevron deference that Blue Ribbon is fighting right now, if it comes into legal action about things being questioned and whether the legality of certain actions and decisions, sometimes the only people that are allowed to come back and make comments on those legalities are the people who already commented in the first place.
Oh, interesting.
And so by writing into your legislators, by writing into public comment periods, you are keeping the door open for us and Blue Ribbon to come in and take legal action on that situation, that decision later on down the road.
Okay.
So,
yeah. So if you want to continue to help on a topic, then you absolutely need to write in.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something to the lines or the prospect of they take into account how many people have written in.
They might take numbers and counts of it. But if they're replying with, yeah, you're right, I think we should be fighting 430 by 30.
Yeah.
You're like, are you counting me in the right category here then?
Yeah, that's true. They don't know who's yay or nay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just know that, a lot of people wrote in on this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So support those that are doing good in the off-road industry. Support where you can, if you can.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep. So that's cool stuff.
right.
Let's see. Zach from Oklahoma is next up.
All right. Let's do it.
Did you put me back up? Yep.
What's up, Jimmy and Tyler? I got a rant. This is Zack from Oklahoma, by the way. So I was tapping some holes for my camper shell that I'm building. I started out with a Milwaukee tap. Broke. Like, let's say 16 holes in, 17, somewhere around there. Anyways, I then later got some more taps, but I decided, I'm just going to keep breaking these. Let's find cheaper ones. Found some Kolbalt ones at Lowe's. Tell me why the Kolbalt ones are better than the Milwaukee. That just doesn't make sense. I can also buy 2 Kolbalts for the same price as 1 Milwaukee tap. This doesn't make any sense. I guess I'm just paying for the name of Milwaukee, which it didn't really even, last very long. The Kolbalt ones are lasting longer. I haven't even broken one. Of course, I've only done maybe 18 holes tapped so far for this camper shell. That's with the Kolbalt ones. That's how much the Kolbalt said. The Milwaukee ones only lasted 16. I don't understand. How, what? Maybe it's user error. Maybe I did something wrong. But I feel like I've been doing the same thing with the Kolbalts too. And I'm still on the first Kolbalt. I haven't even cracked open the package of the other Kolbalts. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go to bed. It's 9:30. Y'all have a good night and keep crawling, and I'm gonna continue building this camper shell at a later date. So, y'all have a good night. Bye.
Thanks for writing in, Zach. I have a couple of answers for him.
One is they're probably the same exact thing.
What that's okay. 3 answers for him.
Yeah. They're probably the same thing, just different white labels depending on the company.
Yep.
I mean, and a lot of times maybe the cheaper one is the better one. It's just, you were paying for a name.
I mean,
what else you got?
That's the story behind Android and iPhones, Apple stuff. I mean,
absolutely.
Why do people pay 3 times more for Apple products when they're a shittier product than Windows or Android stuff?
Yep.
I mean, it's the same thing, right?
Even if they're
or Jeeps, people pay 4 times more for Jeeps than you do for a Toyota.
Yeah.
Or Land Rovers. People pay way more for Land Rovers than anything else. So that's the shittiest thing out there. Just kidding. Being facetious, people, send in all your hate mail to Jimmy at SnailTrail4x4.com, please. No, it probably is literally what Jimmy said. It's probably white labeled tools. So we got a kind of an interesting insight when we were working really closely with Gear Wrench for a couple of years. There's a couple tool companies that pretty much make almost all the tools in the world and then slap other brands on them.
Yeah. Gear Wrench was making tools for other brands.
Yes.
We can't really say.
Yeah.
I don't think we are at liberty to say.
No.
But there's many brands out there that people use that compare to Gear Wrench tools, and they're really the same exact thing.
Yeah. Yes. So you're probably the most likely paying for that red identity of being a Milwaukee person. And that's fine. If that's what brings you joy in life, then money well spent. If your Kolbalt taps are working awesome, and then perfect, use those, keep using them. Personally, I think that 1 Milwaukee tap does not a data set make. A sample size make.
Yeah.
So I would be curious if actually taking 100 Kolbalt taps versus 100 Milwaukee taps, which one would end up winning in the end?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But Yeah.
I will go on the line and say if you made it through 16 holes before breaking your first tap, you're doing good.
Jimmy's like, I only make it through 3.
I barely made it through 4 when I was doing that welding table. I broke one and like had to pull it apart, and it was just deep enough. I just I don't need to tap anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you break a tap and it's like stuck in the hole right where you need it, it's like, what do?
Yeah.
You can't drill it out because now you're going to mess your hole up again. Yeah, it sucks. So yeah, I hate tapping things.
Yeah.
I saw a meme somewhere and it was like, if there's the hammer or a tap out and it's like the lady's coming to like interrupt the husband from working. And if it's a hammer or a tap, then it says, don't interrupt them.
Don't interrupt, turn around and leave. Yeah.
Don't even bother them.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in, Zach.
Always a pleasure. Cool. One more?
The next caller called in twice.
Okay. I say we call it there then.
Okay.
That'll be good for the day.
I'll need to mark this one as unread. I don't know how to do that.
Just write it down or memorize it or something.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
But yeah, if you guys enjoy the Snail Mail episodes and you want to call in and tell us something that you're doing on your rig, ask the public to go out there and do a vote for you. Or, maybe if you have an idea that nobody else has, you can feel free to share that here on Snail Mail episodes. You can call in at 916-345-4744.
Sweet. I like it. I like it a lot. The fun segment of the show. We love doing it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it, and call in. We love hearing from you. So I guess without further ado.
Wait.
What?
I want to say something else.
Okay.
I know some people have asked about something that's happened in the past in some of these Snail Mail episodes. And I put in on the show notes, on the podcast and on the website, I list out every caller and a brief description of what they called about.
Okay.
So if you're like, I remember this one guy that called about, I don't know, Rockwell axles. Who was that? I will try and put some of the bigger details in the show notes. So if you're if you want to go back, it's really easy on the website to just find the Snail Mail ones. Yeah. And then you can just click into those, and then I have all the callers right there.
You can use the search function on the website as well. It should pull up any keywords that show up. So
that are there.
There was a snail mail about Rockwells, and you can just put in Rockwell into the search bar. And if that's one of the terms Jimmy used for that caller, it should pop right up for you.
Absolutely. So
sweet.
All right. Done.
All right, cool. I like it. Everybody have a great weekend out there. Be safe, and we'll see you on Monday. Don't forget.
Keep crawling. Did I do it? Did I get it right?
Good job.
Okay, good.